Okay, welcome everyone. We're live. We're here. Another day, another Sunday. We had a 10 minutes delay, I guess, due to technical challenges. That's all I'll say. Technical challenges. Before we introduce the guest for this one, like, share, subscribe. Footy Fantasy on YouTube, Twitter, Footy 80 Fantasy, Road to 2K, Instagram, Fantasy Footy. Like, share, subscribe. Let's jump in. Let's jump right in. I guess we'll start with Ola. Liverpool just won the trophy. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah. I don't have any Carabao drink, but I have the Monster, the red can. Mentality Monsters are back. So that's what I'll be sipping on throughout the podcast. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I don't know if Carabao trophies count that much, but yeah.
They don't count when Liverpool win it. I know.
Okay. Long time friend of the show, Arsenal Flying, Steven.
Thanks for having me. No one of any consequence counts the Carabao Cup. Liverpool got bigger fish to fry, I would say.
Says the person who didn't win it.
My great Newcastle friend, Raji, who was waxing so lyrical.
I'm a humble Christian man. I just came back from church, and I'm drinking from my black and white mug. But I want to say that anybody who fashions disaster against me today, I won't pray for them tonight. That's all I'm going to say. As an atheist man, I won't pray for them tonight.
Do your work.
All right.
As an atheist man.
I pray for the world, but I won't pray for Arsenal fans.
And of course, it's me, representing Sir Jim of the North. That's the army is building gradually. So this season we're just here to build our army. That's all we're doing. Okay, let's dive right in. Comments are already flying in. We leave all these Liverpool fans saying Campione. Wow. I know I suspect this is here. So you probably Campione for Carabao again. Wow. Bowly ball billionaire bombs. Wow. This is rhymes. Let me go.
BBBB.
Billionaire bombs. Okay. Can you make a PSA asking Oga Kwame to respond to me? It's Linga, his best friend. Okay. Church, key you there. I don't know who that is. They're telling you. They know you don't go to church. Oh man. Lots to. So maybe we should switch it around and start with Liverpool, because I know that's what I came here for. That's the only thing he's on here for.
Yeah, I think we can give that. We can give them the opportunity to actually.
So we're not letting Arsenal fans gloat over the Jordis. That should be the top of their. Then you said Carabao Cup is nothing. So let the Arsenal fans gloat.
No. Let's start with Liverpool, because this is a significant victory. I think it's important that we acknowledge that.
Okay. Well, thanks for letting me start. I just want to pop up my Monster energy drink. Yeah, Mentality Monsters are back. Yeah. So that's how victory tastes like. Like Oga Kwame will say, we saw our captain's armpits today. When you see your captain's armpits, that means you have lifted a trophy. And you can see the armpit of Virgil van Dijk. It was a tough game.
Before we go on, do you look for the armpit? Do you have an armpit fetish or something?
That's what Oga Kwame says. Oga Kwame says,
okay.
If you see the armpit of your captain during the season, that means you've been successful, because that means he was lifting a trophy. When you are lifting a trophy, you see the armpit. So I'm challenging Oga Kwame's, that's the way I represent success. And I've seen my captain's armpits this season. He raised the trophy today. So thank you. I know Newcastle fans will know what that feels like. So apologies in advance. Top final. I think Chelsea. You guys can credit Liverpool, but I think I'm just going to go hard on Chelsea. And even Gary Neville. Gary Neville just called them How do you explain that? You're playing against a team. I'm not saying I should have been a walkover, but the odds were stacked in Chelsea's favor, in my opinion. They also had injuries. Liverpool had injuries, but we had more key players out. We had academy players, like 5 academy players. I know Poch was saying, oh, they also had young players. Yeah, they had young players, but their own young players of my experience. Our academy players, there are a couple of them that I didn't even know. One of them was just playing second game. Some of them had not played up to 5 games. So there's a difference. You can't say, oh, we also had young players, but your young players have played 100 games compared to our young players who have played 10 games. So I don't know how Chelsea just couldn't seize the initiative. I think that trophy was waiting for them, especially when they chalked off a valid goal, in my opinion. I don't see why they are cancelling that goal that Van Dijk scored in the second half. We've seen other teams employ that tactic where they block the run. Arsenal do it a lot, and it's not illegal. I've seen Arsenal do it where they block the run of somebody and then somebody gets a free header. It's not illegal. It's part of football.
I guess this monster drink is getting into your head right now, and you're not seeing the rules of football. The rules of football says if you're in an offside position and you're affecting the play, then it's an offside, even if you don't touch the ball. That's
so exactly clarify to me how he affected the play. That player was not going to get to Van Dijk. The player that was blocked was not going to get to Van Dijk.
He was marking Van Dijk because
he was not going to. Van Dijk had been blocked. Van Dijk had lost him.
Okay.
Van Dijk had lost him. Okay, let's not split hairs because I've seen that goal given many times, and you can't deny that, right? Yes, because it's easy for you to claim these are the rules, but those rules are not consistently applied because we've seen many goals given in that situation. In fact, they even push goalkeeper. Sometimes people will go for the ball, they'll block the goalkeeper, and they'll say it's a goal. Have you not seen that happen? So
but are they in the offside position?
Blocking the goalkeeper, standing in front of the goalkeeper, though.
Yeah, but impeding the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box should be a foul.
Back into the goalkeeper, they give the foul. But if you're
they don't. Not all the time.
No.
Not all the time.
Back into the goalkeeper, they give the foul. If you're standing in front of the goalkeeper, it's the team that's defending. Their job is to get the man away from in front of the goalkeeper. You can stand where you want. That's what Arsenal
you can impede.
Stands there. They don't back into the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper has to move around them. That's where people this whole thing confused. When you're fouling the goalkeeper, you push them, you're back into them. Ben White's had a couple of those this season which have been disallowed because they've called fouls on him for backing in or touching the goalkeeper.
I've seen goals given. Anyway, let's not split it. I'm just saying there's no consistency, and we can all agree on that.
We don't need to split and pit.
Can I take comment?
Yeah, there's no consistency.
Like
we don't need to split
I've missed like 7. Let me take comment. Sorry. Let me jump in and take comment. This one is directed at Raji. Samuel, Arsenal fan, says, hope you are humbled now. Remember what I told you before cheated at your place. Since your team and club never remained the same again, there's levels to this.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, you can.
No, not yet. Not yet. Read all the comments.
Let me take all the comments. Yes, hold that thought. Prince Y, to whom we be concerned. Hi, Prince Y. I don't know who you are. Congratulations on your Carabao Cup in respect, bro. Bienvenido says the of Poch beating my main man, Klopp, gave me few sleepless nights. Today I celebrate. Damn it, cheers. That's an anti-Poch guy. Remember? Oga comment says, of course, Raji won't understand. Man hasn't even seen his own armpit in his lifetime. Someone says, Raji, hold that L, please. Then last one, hope Poch manages Angola one day. Cheers. Okay. There's still more. Prince Eric says, don't tell. I greet my guy at the top. So Ewa of the North. Yes, we're building gradually. Here we go. Liverpool fans. Little brother, I don't know this. They've started. Prince Eric says, Raji, you go explain. No evidence. Susan Bachi says, I love AY. It's just there smiling because irrelevance has taken United horse out of this fight, and we can just sit back and watch the chaos. Yes, I mean, we're rebuilding. I like the tension on the show today. Talk your shit, Ola, and the humble guy. Cheers. Okay. You can respond now, Raji, to Samuel's,
It's very interesting. Let's look at this thing. We played at St. James Park. You played at Emirates. You win there, we win there. It's equal. I don't understand. This Arsenal people, they always overdo it. They overdo it all the time. You can't beat us at home, and we can't beat you at your home. The only thing I took positive, it was a horrible game, let's be frank. Newcastle didn't come to play. So I'm not going to even what do you call it, sugar coat it or anything. We were nonsense for most of that game. But I will say this: we've broken the monkey's back. We haven't scored there since 2014. We haven't scored there since 2014, and we finally did.
Have shame, man. Have shame. Have shame.
Grasping at straws, man.
There's no shame.
Have shame, man.
No shame to have.
I know that segment here. Just hold that up. We're not a segment of Arsenal.
Anyway, we'll have the conversation. Let's leave.
Okay, Carabao
showing his armpit. Yeah. All right.
Any final closing thoughts? We don't need to spend too much time on this.
Yeah. Final closing thoughts. I mean, it's a good trophy for Klopp departing. I mean, even if he doesn't win anything else, he won something in his final season. I mean, we're suffering a lot. We've lost another 2 players today. I know some people are drawing parallels. Every team has injuries. That's true. I mean, Newcastle have suffered injuries. Man United have suffered a lot of injuries. And in fact, I would use Man United as an example. That's why I know Oga Kwame is going to come on and blast Ten Hag. Yeah. But you will notice there's one thing. One thing about Ten Hag, I've never called him a bad manager. Even if I troll him, I'll troll him and say end of eras. And the reason why I factor in is United have suffered so many injuries this season. And the only time when you had maybe a good run was when you had some key players back. And look at yesterday, you guys lost Casemiro, you lost Højlund up front, you lost Luke Shaw, and then you lost the game. Injuries are a factor. People just like glossing over it. Injuries are not just injuries to key players and the timing of the injuries. And that's why I feel like somebody like Ten Hag, I won't go add. I'm not advocating for him. I'm just saying this is what I feel like when I say Liverpool also have injuries, and people say, oh, we also have injuries. Not all injuries are the same. Now we have 13 players out, and we still have to play FA Cup. We still have to play league games. It's going to catch up with us eventually. We can't have that number of players out and it will catch up. The only hope is to have some of the injured ones back early enough. So for the Carabao Cup, it's fine. I'm celebrating a bit, but I'm worried for the next few games because at this rate, we just have to keep playing on our 21s. And let me tell you, not all the other teams will be as crap as Chelsea. Because about under 21s, many of those guys have not played first team football more than 5 times. I don't know how Chelsea managed not to beat us today. I don't know how they just threw away the chance to beat us today. So that's a worry going forward. But for the Carabao Cup, yeah, I'll be happy enough to sip on this. And I don't care if Newcastle fans are throwing shade. In fact, at least Arsenal fans still have now. They won FA Cup a few years ago. I don't know the last time Newcastle ever won a trophy. So enjoy, Mr. Humble Christian man. I hope you don't mind if I sip on my Monster drink again.
Apparently, this thing has pained you. You feel like you want to attack me too. It's fine.
I'm not attacking you now. When you throw shade, you have to get ready for response. So if you want a trophy, you can talk.
Someone says the fact that you're still on your mouth after speaking Spanky shows you are shameless. Half of them just right. Wow, this is a long comment. But to say, Machi, can you give short comments? Short comments, please. It's about overcompensation when it comes to Arsenal. When you have a 3-inch cannon and consider yourself part of an elite group of clubs, despite having won the trophy, you need to gain and set group. Imposter syndrome things.
Wow.
That things. Wow, this is
goddamn.
There's beating and there's spanking. Raji should just hold that gigantic L. Hope your team got put in a sleep. Linger says Poch playing to get to pens is shameful. No style of play for United though from an outside. This is Ray, by the way. I missed this. His comments. This is Ray. United depends more on individual performances more than just most teams. It's double-edged sword. Fair fact, fine. Linger says he's managed more than 300 games in England and not won anything. Bottling DNA. All our injuries are part of the game. That's why you buy versatile players to manage injuries better. Mbachi says things I just said, and you can fully understand that Arsenal's that loud to shout away the madness level of mental. Wow, okay, that's a big question. Why is United Fulham game absent from the menu? I mean, we kind of talked about it already. Don't worry, we have a 3-minute segment. Okay, coming to join. Anybody have any final thoughts? I'll move us quickly.
I want to quickly talk about that Liverpool Arsenal game. I want to say, Liverpool Chelsea game. It was actually interesting to watch because when I turned on the game, I was actually surprised that I didn't recognize most of the people in that starting lineup for Chelsea. There were quite a lot of youngsters who were playing. And as the game proceeded, I was thinking, that this was just the opportunity for Chelsea to win something. And by the 90th minute, I was convinced that Chelsea was going to win. But the fact that they came back and they won is a testament to the lack of cohesion in Chelsea, especially in the attacking forward, because this was not a game that they should have lost. Given the amount of chances they had, Liverpool were on the back burner so many times, just couldn't finish, couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, couldn't take that final pass. But the fact that they gave Liverpool an opportunity to win just means that, this is football. It can be cruel, even if you don't deserve to win. It can be cruel. But whoever puts the ball in the back of the net is the victor for that day. So, congratulations to Liverpool on such a victory. I'm very happy for them. I'm not the biggest fan of Klopp, honestly. I don't like the man, but I'm going to say that he has achieved something with Liverpool. And I was telling my wife, like, there's gonna be a statue of Klopp at Liverpool after he's gone, because that guy deserves it. Of all the people in the world, no matter how annoying he is, he deserves it. That he's done something for that club. So yeah, that's all I'll say.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Don't need to thank me. I'm not saying it for you, man.
Humble, very humble.
I am not humble. I've changed my name.
I am not humble. My guy, don't vex.
Any thoughts on the game?
No, I think the only thing I will push on is the whole thing around the ages of the players on the team. Like, we know Chelsea's problems, right? Like, they've invested in a lot of young players. Their starting lineup the whole season has been inconsistent because of it. If you look at the Liverpool starting lineup, outside of Bradley and Kelleher, most of those guys are first team players. The bench was really young, and he used the players, which is to Klopp's credit. Like, bringing on 4 or 5 youngsters in a cup final. Obviously, part of that was he didn't have a choice at that point, right? Like, people are getting in, the game was wearing down. So
yeah,
I give him the flowers for putting him on the bench, but he didn't really have a choice in the situation.
Yeah.
And I think
True.
the starting lineup wasn't as wild as people were going on, right? Robertson, Konate, Van Dijk, like the McAllister. It's not like they had the kids starting the game. They did what they had to do to get the result, which is what Liverpool do. And credit to them for that. But the ages of the teams and the injury, all of us have injuries. And I know we're all football fans and we like to troll each other as well. But every single squad or team in the top 5 or 6 has had massive problems with injuries this season. Even down to, again, we're talking about injuries. No one said Arsenal. Partey, Jesus, Timber. If you'd have said at the start of the season, Arsenal are going to be where they are without them 3, Partey's played 3 games this year. If you'd have said at the start of last season that Partey was going to play 3 games and Arsenal were going to challenge for the league, people had told you you're mental. So I think everybody's got the same problems. It's just how you cope. And that's why I give Klopp credit, because he's doing everything with what he has, and he's trusting the kids. And you get rewarded when you trust players sometimes. And I think he's getting away with it right now.
Ayo, sorry. Just final thought. I'm going to push back a bit. And you also yourself, you mentioned this in the group chats that we had last week. Arsenal's injury problems can be compared to other clubs' injury problems. You guys have injury issues, but it's not the same as United have suffered, or even Newcastle. It's not 3. Out of those 3 players you mentioned, Timber.
I'm not talking about the number.
Timber is not a key player. Timber is not a key player.
No. I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking specifically about the quality of player. So if you said to yourself, look at your starting 4. Okay, there's no Salah. There's no go back a year, right? So there's no Salah. There's no Henderson. There's no. You go through the players that we're missing. Those are core players. Remember, Timber started the season, not Zinchenko.
He's played only 1 game. Why you guys say he's a key player? He's not a key player yet. He's not.
He was intended to be a key
player. But that's theory. In theory.
He started the season. The fact of the matter
is... One game. Come on.
He played in the cup.
No. I'm not having
it.
Let's not take this nonsense from Arsenal fans.
People are going to have different opinions. So I think we'll move on to the Arsenal game. My opinion, I'm on the same page, Ola. And I've said, and it's fine. Like it happens in life, right? There's seasons where you need luck to not have injuries to key players to win major trophies. It happens, and that might be what is riding for Arsenal this season. It's fine. Like I think Arsenal fans should accept it, right? Arsenal have not lost key players for extensive time this season, and it's fine. It's okay.
How could you say Jesus and Partey are not key players?
No. Okay.
Partey.
Arsenal has enjoyed the benefit of no injuries.
Partey and Jesus.
Okay, let me rephrase. Can I rephrase, Steven? Partey have not lost a lot of key players for extensive period. The only person
and Jesus, and you just
only
said
person can say is Jesus. It's just
only two.
Arsenal has moved on.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Partey. That's why they got Declan Rice. Arsenal has moved on. Very obvious. Like let's
the delusions of Arsenal fans.
Arsenal has moved on from Partey. They have. Let's be serious. They have. Steven, you know this. Tactically, they've moved on from Partey. I mean, the articles about
if Arsenal had moved on from Partey, Jorginho wouldn't be playing so much. There were games where they would have been playing together, and we all.
If there's any player that I hate the most, is Jorginho. Let's talk about this game, man. Let's get this over with. I'm tired.
Let's go to Arsenal Newcastle review. Let Steven hasn't spoken too much. Let him talk about the game.
Let Steven talk. I'm going to listen.
No, I mean, again, Newcastle, they got their problems. They got the players. They had players coming back from injuries. I think it was obvious some of them weren't ready to play. I think at the back, that's probably the worst performance I've seen again from someone that's handling the press. I couldn't believe how naive Newcastle were in that first half in particular, just trying to play with the press that Arsenal were putting on. So again, they kind of played into our hands and we took advantage. And again, that's just the way Arsenal is right now. If you try and accommodate or play around the press, we're going to win the ball back and we're going to damage you because the team is just in a very ruthless vein of form. So I just think Newcastle were naive in terms of their approach to the game. I think the midfield was always going to be a problem for them as well. Like when I saw it was Guimaraes, Longstaff, and Miley, I knew pretty much then the game wasn't going to be a hard one for us because Guimaraes, we're going to just stop him from playing and then let the other two try and get the ball, and they weren't going to get on the ball enough. And I think Arteta read it really well. Because again, I don't know if you noticed that he flipped Rice and so against Liverpool, Jorginho played high, and against Newcastle it was Rice that played high, and he played on Guimaraes. So they just took him out of the game. So they couldn't handle the press. That was the primary thing in the whole game. They made a lot of mistakes. The usual thing with Arsenal and set pieces. I think we got like 19 goals on set pieces now, so it's not an accident. But yeah, no, it was another straightforward game. And again, Newcastle just weren't at it, and they haven't been for a good few weeks now. So I wasn't surprised in terms of the result.
Is that all you want to say?
That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much.
Let me take comments. I have 20 comments. Let me take comments. I'll breeze through them very quickly.
Okay.
Then Vito said, no, Chelsea should fight for top 4 if they are decent forwards. I don't know about that. Linger says, your clowns and hooligans said Virgil was finished, by the way. I accept the apologies in form of cold hard cash. What's the problem with Chelsea? Earlier in the season, every Chelsea fan believed in Nkunku's solution, but he doesn't even make the first team. He just got back from injury. That's why I said the big score so you changed his name like 5 times. Hold that. Okay. Really, says everyone's an expert in hindsight because Arsenal's managed games better than expected. Yeah, 100%. We can disagree. It's fine. It's fine. I think the closing comment is this: if Arsenal had lost William Saliba, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, we're not having this conversation.
No, we did that last year.
We know that. We all know that.
It happened last year, and we bottled the title. It wasn't we had injuries and we lost. Right. Last year,
if those same guys are out this season, Arsenal are not top in the league. Steven, you know this. Let's be serious here, guys.
No. Okay. Jesus is the starting forward for Arsenal when he is fit, right? Bringing in Havertz, who everybody says is not a good player, by the way.
Yeah,
he's basically playing up front for Arsenal right now.
Including Arsenal fans, just be clear. On this show, Arsenal fans came and said we want to.
So Havertz is playing up front instead of Jesus. We're using Jorginho in midfield or Havertz in midfield instead of Thomas Partey. That's the reality. Is Havertz or
Jorginho is a good player. No, why are you talking about Jorginho as if he's shit?
I'm not saying they're rubbish. I'm just saying you're saying about key players like Partey and Jesus are 2 bums off the bench from the academy. You're comparing Partey and Jesus to the kids that you're pulling out of your academy.
My point is there's levels to key players. I just mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
I mentioned the core of Arsenal team. I said,
blame us or thank us for building a squad. Then
can I talk now?
It's okay. I think it's what fans do. You know, when everything goes well, they try to make it. They try to big brain it and make it look like they manage things better. No, you guys have been lucky. Let's be serious. And it happens when big teams win big trophies. You need luck of injuries. It's very important.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Exactly.
And I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. I'm disputing what you're saying when you're saying that Arsenal haven't dealt with injuries this season.
In comparison to the extent of not having Salah, Liverpool's best player, Nunez,
Trent,
Jota. That's a lot of injuries. Trent. That's or when Man City had Haaland and
De Bruyne.
Yeah, best players. Arsenal's best players are playing. That's what matters. It matters a lot. Like that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they didn't have injuries. Their best players are playing. That's very important.
Can we talk about Newcastle now? Because we're going round and round on this Arsenal delusion, man. Can we talk about Newcastle?
Talk about Newcastal.
Okay, let's talk
about Newcastle. All right. So yes, we'll start with the obvious. Newcastle lost the game 4-1. Okay? Newcastle didn't play well, especially in the first half. Okay? Arsenal saw a weakness in Newcastle because Newcastle was playing an 18-year-old in the midfield and Longstaff. Because our main midfielders, Joe Linton, what's his name? Tonali, even what's his name? The guy who came in later, who's been out injured all season.
Willock
scored the goal for Willock. Who scored the goal for us? Our midfield has been horrible for almost 12 weeks now. We had 13 players who've been injured. We've never had our two strikers together at any point in this season except for the first 3 weeks. So if you want to talk about injuries, we even got to a point where we're playing Anthony Gordon as a striker when he's a winger coming forward. And by doing that, it reduces our flexibility on the wings. So Arsenal cannot come and talk to me about Timber and all of this. You guys don't have injury problems. Newcastle has injury problems where somebody jumps for the ball and when he lands, he breaks his spine, broke his back. That's what happened to Dan Burn in the Champions League. And he was out for how long? Almost 6-7 weeks. So Newcastle has had injuries. Arsenal has not had injuries. I'm not making excuses. Arsenal beat us fair and square. They usually beat us in London. We haven't won there since, I don't know the last time we even won there. But the most important thing is we scored. Arsenal doesn't beat us. Arsenal doesn't beat us in St. James Park.
Other than
if it was a situation where Arsenal beats us at St. James Park, then they beat us again somewhere else. It's one thing. But you lose every single time you've come to St. James Park since Eddie Howe has been manager.
Last year at St. James's Park.
Hey, let me finish. Please. You lose, then when we now go to London, it's like, oh, the revenge. Every single year. It's always the same story. And the thing about it is, after that game, I was expecting Arteta to come out and finally say how much he hates London, how he needs to get out of the country because it's been a disgrace. This guy didn't have anything to say this time around. He just said it was a great victory and all of that stuff. Sore losers, man. Sore losers. When you win, it's destiny. We are the best. Look, if Arsenal does not win the Premiership this season, it's a disgrace. If they don't win the Champions League, it's a disgrace because all of you are now screaming like you're the best team in the country. If you can't win it, then what's the noise? You're beating Newcastle. Newcastle is a tier 3 team. Manchester City is tier 1. Arsenal is tier 2. We beat you sometimes, you beat us sometimes. Manchester City is very difficult to beat them. They beat you all the time. We understand that. So there are levels to this stuff, man. If you can't win the Premiership, you can't really be making this kind of noise. You're talking about beating Newcastle. 2 years ago, we were almost relegated. Now you're talking like as if you have won a trophy. Get out of here, man.
Anyway. I have to take comment. We are going to spend the whole show talking. I mean, I said if Arsenal learn how to grind out some wins, they'll be dangerous in that. Games like Porto where they seem complete out of ideas, and they have games like yesterday. Samuel, can somebody please zip Raji's mouth? That's why he's on the show now. Man is highly shameless. Besides, I guess Waffle Partey, Zini plays 2 games every 2 months, same as Jesus, Tomiyasu. You better be all right. It's fine, guys. Arsenal have had news like everybody. Arsenal have figured out a way to keep everybody. You know, you manage injuries. They know they figured out the science behind injuries. Let's move on. Every time Arsenal fans, I'm tired of it, please. But Newcastle was bad. Because Arsenal suffocated and blitzed them the first half, I agree.
Yeah.
We didn't let Newcastle breathe. They wanted to
they didn't let us breathe because
Newcastle didn't know how to cope again. Hold that. Okay. Is Jorginho a starter for Arsenal? He started like 7 league games so far in the league. This is too many comments. How do I keep? Asha says, Raji, why don't you guys play Louis Hall? You don't want to pay Chelsea the money.
I will go back. I'll go back to that response. I'll go back.
Linger followed me here again. Linger and Ogakame, stay away from the chat. We are talking. If you are not talking about football, people can keep your personal feud away from the chat. Someone says, "Man said we lose. This same club is spanked 0-2 at his place. Can someone mute this guy, man?" Jimmy, first time. Chelsea needs a finisher badly. Osimhen, yeah. I'm sure that's what they're going to do next season. Ray says, "Hello, shameless shifting of the goalpost. I used to take Raji serious in terms of foodie opinions. LOL." That man says that came from Raji's soul, and I'm here for it. Prince Ewa says, "Don't worry, we'll meet again the next." What's this? This Gracia Derby. The salt is salting, Raji. Okay. Stephen,
is that all?
You want to say something?
No. It was more like, okay, because the point I'm making is not about anybody being better off, right? Because the amount of injuries Newcastle have had, the amount of injuries that Liverpool have.
No. Before you continue, you are the best team in England, and you must win the Premiership. Okay.
We don't have to must do nothing but beat Newcastle at home.
No. This is your.
You can beat and handle shameless. The lack of shamelessness is just incredible.
You are learning from the idiots that are posting stuff.
You know what I mean?
This guy said he cares about my opinion. When have I
trophy lifted? And as a Newcastle fan, you know. Anyway, the point I was making is that everybody's had injuries. We've coped with what we've had. Better than most people would have said at the start of the season, because at the start of the season, Partey out, Jesus out, Zinchenko out. That's a recipe for disaster for Arsenal for most people. We've dealt with it. We're good. I'm not comparing it to Liverpool and Newcastle because you can't compare it. United has got nothing to do with injuries for me. United are just poorly coached and have poor players. That's a completely different thing. You can talk about injuries with United too, but the way United play, if you're playing Luton and Luton have got 60% possession against you, you're a poor side. The end.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I disagree with that. Manchester United plays counter football, man. They can let you hold the ball and they can beat you on the counter. It doesn't matter possession.
No, I'm just saying they're a poor side.
Not necessarily.
They're a very poor side. You watch United.
I would say they're inconsistent, but I wouldn't say poor.
No, but that's
what I would use. Inconsistent. They're inconsistent because of the injuries. Like I said at the beginning of the pod, people have glossed over it. Of course, I love trolling. I'm a Liverpool fan. I love trolling United. But like I said, I won't call Ten Hag a bad coach because there are factors which have made them inconsistent. And see, when they put together a run of 6 games where they won 6 games, and why did they win? Because they had Casemiro back, they had key players back, and they lost immediately. Those key players went off yesterday.
And they didn't.
Højlund was missing
6 games. They played well in one of those 6 games.
But they still won. They were stringing results together.
Sir Jim's Army. That's what you forget. Forget about what we're doing right now. Let's dive into EPL title race. Just continue. You started talking about, so just
go on.
No, sorry.
No, let Raji talk. I think Raji wants to talk about title race. So
I'm just seeing all of this. I'm seeing all of these people sending comments to me, saying all sorts of things. One person said that I was his Jesus at one point. All of a sudden, I'm no longer because he's disappointed in me. You are not my father. I don't care about your opinions. This guy said, what is this? I care. there's nothing logical about supporting a football club. So you invite me to talk about the football club, and I'll talk about the football club. I'm not going to come here and say that my football club is no. I'm going to pump up my chest for all the judges out there who are.
I feel you.
You know, I'm not going to come here and humiliate myself to this delusional club. When they lose, I'm just going to point that out. When they lose, it's almost like as if the world is going to end. Remember the last time they lost to Newcastle? 5 weeks, 6 weeks, they were still talking about it. How can we lose? It's almost like they are being,
conspiracy. Right? Yeah, conspiracy.
Oh my God! What did the Newcastle owner have to say? Newcastle cheated them. Anyway, I don't want to deal with this nonsense, man. You win some games, you lose some games. When Manchester United lost to Liverpool 7-0 or whatever the score was.
You don't have to talk about that.
It was. That never happened. Everybody understands that football. Sometimes you come and you have a bad game because you don't. When you're playing a 17-year-old, 18-year-old in the midfield, things can happen.
Why am I cutting straight?
Anyway.
Why am I cutting straight?
Oh, sorry, I apologize. When Chelsea lost 7-0, or when Liverpool lost 4-5, anyway, it doesn't matter. Teams lose now. It's the point I'm trying to make. Teams lose, especially away. All right, Raji, I'm done.
Thoughts on title race? Any thoughts?
Title race. Oh, of course I have thoughts, man. I know one team that we won't be seeing their armpits, and that's Arsenal. So we will not be seeing Arsenal's armpits this season. But I will say this. I think that there's a conversation to be had about if Liverpool can pull one over Manchester City for, Klopp's final season. And the way the energy of Liverpool is, I feel like that is the upset we are going to see. That Liverpool could actually win the Premiership. And that would be his sunset. I don't know if it's going to happen. Manchester City is on a roll. Even in their most difficult games, they find a way to come back and win. But I also feel like this game is wide open. And it's between Manchester City and Liverpool.
Okay.
Arsenal will be third. Okay. Their usual position.
Okay.
No.
They think they're the best in the country.
I won't discount Arsenal. Like 2 weeks ago, I hosted the podcast. Yeah. Oh, you are finished, right? No. Yeah, you can finish up, right? Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I hosted 2 weeks ago, and one of the questions I posted was, have Arsenal been written off too early? Because in my opinion, people were writing them off too early because it was a 5-point gap. I see 5 points is insurmountable in January. And I just felt, I know people would think maybe I'm just edging bets, but I've seen they've laid some foundations, and I'll tell you why. Because when Klopp built this title-winning team for Liverpool in 2020, the first thing we did was we tightened up our defense, and that's what Arsenal have done. One of the things they've done, they've tightened up their defense. They have the best defense. They consider the least goals. Then Liverpool started scoring a lot of set pieces. Arsenal are doing that. Then Liverpool diversified their goal sources, so we had goals from everywhere. Arsenal are doing that. So that's why 2 weeks ago I said, look, 5-point gap is nothing. Why are people writing Arsenal off? I love to throw them too, but I just think they're in this title race and they'll be there to the end. I don't think, in fact, I think they might even sneak ahead of City because there are some things I've seen from City recently. Yesterday I watched the full game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth put them under a lot of pressure all the way throughout the second half. City barely could string passes together. The game before that, they just managed to sneak a 1-0 win against Brentford. I'm not saying City won't be there at the end. I just feel, writing off Arsenal, I think Arsenal might still finish ahead of City. As a Liverpool fan at the beginning of the season, I asked who is going to win Premier League. I did say Liverpool were going to win it. I had a feeling we will be there. Now I'm getting a bit worried because these injuries are piling up a lot at this stage. I mean, if we had the injuries earlier in the season, it would have been nice. But I mean, now we have to play a game every 3 days to the end of the season. Basically, we're playing every 3 games. And after a while, you can't sustain that with a squad that is missing 13 first-team players. You can't. Every 3 days is too much. If you have maybe a gap in between, then it will be fine. Today, we've lost Endo. Endo was limping on crutches when he left, and Gravenberch. So basically, we are down to one senior midfielder. one senior one left. So I don't know, unless we get some injured players back, I'm not sure we can sustain it, but we'll see. I mean, like you guys have mentioned, Klopp's emotional energy might push them, but I don't see us beating many teams power that way. Chelsea team was horrible today. I don't know how we beat them with 5 academy players. I mean, that's really bad. We can't do that against other teams consistently. I don't know how Chelsea just blew it today. So that's my opinion. I think people write off Arsenal too early. Yeah.
But I also think that you
just keep that in mind. That's how bad Chelsea is. Amrabat, boss Chelsea's midfield this season. I remember watching that. I was like, what's going on? We bossed them.
Wow.
With Amrabat in midfield. That's
but you have to. There's something that has to be said about the system too. And I think that if the people who are being introduced understand the system, you may be able to coast for a while. Your next few games are pretty tricky. If your scenario is still the same, in 2 weeks you're playing Manchester City.
That's the big one.
Everton.
Yeah.
But I think you can coast through Everton to Nottingham Forest, Everton, and you may even be able to do something against Brighton. Hopefully, by that time, your injury problem is a little bit better. But I don't anticipate that. See, I'm the person that they're always focused on. It's good.
You're firing shots, and the shots are coming back. That's how it works.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, they should join here. They should come.
Let's take comment. Someone says,
come into the podcast. Let's see. All of them. I'm used to all of them.
Ray says, Arsenal Rattles fans, bring it. Hey, don't let us go there, Ray. Raji, are you? Oh, they will compose a song for you. Wow, Raji, you had to start the show.
Michael Jackson. Okay? Raji, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Raji?
Just to understand this stuff. This is because we beat them 1-0 last year. This whole Raji, are you okay? Is because we beat them 1-0 last year. And 2 years ago, we stopped them from going into Champions League. They won't forget because they think they're better than us. It's good.
Xhaka will win a league trophy before Arsenal from Asha, who's a Chelsea fan. Ray says it's going down to the wire with 2 teams, an exciting 2-team race instead of usual 2. I 100% agree with that. Oh, wait, I missed a comment. We are picking at the right time, something that didn't happen last season. Tottenham decides where the title is going. Everybody's going to say one person decides. It's going down to the wire. I think every game matters from here on. I think that's just the truth. Newcastle fan, rest. Now, Raji Mal the killer. Raji is shit you, and I love it. We are far better than you. And last comment.
And that's not funny saying we are better than you.
No, it's because you are shamelessly using the excuse instead of taking the L today. Wow.
Okay, let me before we go into this long one. Before we go to this long one. I have said relentlessly that Newcastle did not deserve to win that game. Did I not say that? Did I say that we were cheated? Did I say that there was a conspiracy amongst police? That there was something? I didn't say any of that, though. I didn't say any of that. I just said Newcastle didn't play well. We did not deserve to win. And all of them, they're still hawking me, trying to find me like eagles looking for a rat. I'm not a rat, though. I will destroy you too. I'm telling you. Newcastle fans are not humble. I'm not a humble man. I was joking. I was lying to you. I didn't go to church too. Don't let us clash.
You should have gone to church.
Okay,
no, I don't go to church.
Final long phrase. This is not a comment, it's a phrase. I think Liverpool has the edge. Man City has been in good form, has not been in good form. The team refreshed, and new players have not stepped up as expected. Wow, really? Man City has been struggling in game. City have not been the top side. Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, Villa, Chelsea. Klopp leaving the team has given them a lift and want to win the trophy. City have a really tough match today. If by the end of March, City are still 2 points behind the leader, then they have a chance. I think Liverpool wins the league, Arsenal second. All right. Good comment. Steven, what are your thoughts?
No, I think Arsenal have a really good chance. I think the March 10th is coming at a good time for Arsenal. So Liverpool playing Man City with the injuries that they have, I think that could go either way. I think it could be probably the way Man City are playing. I don't think it'll be an easy game for them, even with the injuries. I think Liverpool caused them problems, and I'm hoping maybe a draw. But I think Arsenal have a good chance because the comment was made earlier. Arsenal have a lot of players coming back from injury at a right time as well. So they're beating people 4 and 5-0. Jesus is back, Partey is back, Timber is back, Zinchenko is back. There's a lot of players coming back now to help down the stretch for a run-in. And I think that's going to play in their advantage down the stretch, having those players. Because to your point, when you talk about being able to change things up, and Arteta's actually, he's learned from last season in terms of how he's using his squad, which is a lot different than what he was trying to do last year. And everybody talk about, oh, you lose Saliba, you lose Gabriel, you fall apart at the back. I don't think that's the case with this team, right? Because we have Tomiyasu who can play centre back, right back, left back. Timbers there can play left back, right back, centre back. I think we have players to cover. And for the games that we have, if we can get to the big games of our best 11, we've proven we can beat the bigger sides. We've taken 4 points off Liverpool. Nobody else can say that. We've beaten Manchester City at home already this season. We beat them in the kickoff Charity Shield. So we've beaten all of these big sides as well at home, and we've taken points from them away. So I've got a good
about what you want to say. Say it with
Why
your
are
chest.
you talking? Like Newcastle ain't even in this
with your chest. Say that Arsenal is going to win this season.
I said we're in with a chance. It's the same thing.
Don't beat around the bush. We've beaten them there. Say it with your chest.
I am saying it with my chest. I said we're in with a chance of winning the league.
You are in with a chance. We have no chance. Why? You need to say this thing. Is Arsenal winning the Premier League? They're asking us about the table. First off, is Arsenal winning? Ola said Liverpool. Is Arsenal winning?
Arsenal have a chance of winning the league. Yes,
you said Newcastle have a chance. If all the other teams drop points, if all the other teams drop points to the end of the season, we'll catch up. Does Arsenal have a chance? Say it with your chest, man. Why are you edging? No. Are you winning? Ola said Liverpool is winning. Are you winning the Premiership?
He said we're winning at the start of the season. I said we're winning.
No. Are you winning the Premiership this season?
At the start of the season, I said Arsenal have a chance of winning the league. That was
why this was this. Yeah, this is not. Are you winning the Premiership or not? You've beaten Arsenal. You've beaten Newcastle now.
Nobody can stand in your way. Don't matter in this conversation.
Okay. Exactly. Oh, so because I don't understand. Everybody, all the people sending me messages, it seems like Newcastle has been bothering you all this time. Is Arsenal winning the league? Yes or no?
I would say yes. And I've said it already. I think we have a really
all good right. Finally, let's timestamp this. Ola, you said that Liverpool is winning. Ayo, do you think is winning the Premiership?
Everybody knows me. For the 5 years in a row, I always say this. When the season kicks off, I always say Man City, right? I look at their squad, I look at the experience, and I still stick with Man City just because they have all their players back and they have the experience. They've done it before. But like everybody else, it's going down to the wire. It is going down to the wire. That's what I think. I think this time, like, we're going to get to the final day and everybody can still win the league. I think that we shouldn't. I think Liverpool drop off. I think it's unsustainable. I really do think the amount of injuries they're getting is not sustainable for them to continue this way. Arsenal will be there, they're on a hot run.
Man. Just say it with your chest. Who do you think is winning the Premiership?
I said Man City.
Man City? Man City? Okay, cool.
So I think they have the experience. And I think the fact that these big games are all coming in March, that they have to win it, Man City will win those games. I think
Pep is managing his squad. Like, you watch what he's doing with De Bruyne right now. De Bruyne is coming off the bench. He's playing 1 game a week because he's keeping De Bruyne full March. Like, you can see, like Man City and Man City, they're going to come on a run. So the fact that they're getting these results, 1-0 here, 1-0 here, I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, you know what's coming. You're going to have to go and beat them, which is why I'm saying March 10th. That's the first one. Liverpool play them. They have to go to Anfield. Anybody goes to Anfield, the likelihood of you getting out of there with a result, don't care who you are, is regardless of what shape Liverpool are in. So that's a game where you say, okay, if they come out of that with a win, then you see the train starts to move with City, and they got the players back to do it.
Yeah. Right. But Arsenal shouldn't be worried.
That's my point.
Arsenal
aren't worried. That's the difference.
Yeah. Because they are winning the
Premiership. Be worried because according to everyone, Arsenal have no chance according to everyone. Arsenal should be happy to be there if you listen to everyone.
They have some superstitious way of keeping their players fit, some magical ways of keeping their players humble. Arsenal is going to win this, according to Stephen. So
I don't understand why you say everyone says Arsenal don't have a chance. This one issue I have with Arsenal fans. You guys have a victim mentality. Why would you say everybody say you don't have a chance? I just said you have a chance in this show. I just said it.
Not everyone, but I'm saying if you listen to the narrative from a lot of rival fans, a lot of it is wind up. We know that. If you talk to Manchester City fans, if you talk to Liverpool fans, the people who are actually in the conversation, we have the general respect to say that each other have good teams and we have a chance to do it. Everybody else is on a wind up, and they have.
I'm on a wind up. I'm on a wind up.
I'm not on a wind up.
I will say that Arsenal will not even be in the top 2.
See, wind up.
I'm not going to wind up though. I mean, it's
a wind up if it's a wind up only if it's not true. But I've seen weaknesses in Arsenal.
Which weaknesses, please? Honestly,
we don't need to talk about it.
So I think
we don't need to talk about it.
So that
let's move on.
Let's take comments. Before I take comments, my thoughts. I think City will win. I think Arsenal will be there to the end of the season. But I don't think they can get to like 90. I think the person that's going to win this league is going to have to get to like 90-something points, right? I think I always say this. I don't see Arsenal getting there just because they have to play so many games and win every game. I think they're going to go through Porto and they're going to have to play every 3 days. I don't see them getting 90-something points. Just personally, they are a very good team. Very good team.
But that's why that's why I say I think the injuries and the players coming back at this stage of the season will play in their favor. Like when you can bring Jesus off the bench and Partey off the bench in a run-in, that's an advantage for Arsenal in the run-in. And the Champions League, I'm saying it here, I would love to win the Champions League as an Arsenal fan since we never won it. But genuinely, right now, if you ask me, just put your best team on the field every week in the league and do the same in the Champions League when you have to. Go as far as you can. But the league, just play your best 11, and that's what he's doing.
That's fine.
That's the reason why.
That's fine. But the point I'm saying is they don't have the winning experience like Man City. I did say this on this show. I think Arsenal have a bigger chance, especially if they avoid Man City and Madrid to win the Champions League. I still maintain this. I still maintain that. You know, that's my opinion. Okay, let's keep going. What's this?
What's that? The score from yesterday, halftime?
No, you're scoring. You're third. You're third this season, man. You're third.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. I love how I can't get confusion because we just lost to Nigeria. Oh, okay, United. Oh, that's fine, man. I'm good, man. I appreciate you. Raji is waffling. Wow. Prince White says Arsenal is winning by 5 points. Allah, you are here.
See,
I'm coming back to this.
This is what I want to see. This is what
I want to see. With full chest.
But you know what's going to happen, though, Raji? You know what's going to happen? They will run away from the group. This was last year when I told all of them that they were going to lose the league. Okay. They will run away. He always runs away.
I don't know why Steven is just jumping up and down defense. Say it.
He has said it now. Leave him alone, please.
Okay. I've said it multiple times. It's just pointless talking to you because you're not in the conversation.
It's true.
Like you're in the conversation.
But we still have a right to talk. We still have a right to
last
talk.
6 games. That's very possible. The day we are going to have this one we lacked last year. That's fine. Arsenal are a very good team. I think Arsenal is up next. I said it in our group chat. Ola can attest to that. I think the next person to win the league after Man City is going to be Arsenal. Arsenal is winning by 3 points. John, good. I like it. I like all this. Okay, let's move on. This is
a good show. This is a United,
good show. Dan Ashworth, gardening leave. What's going on with Newcastle placing on gardening leave? What's going on?
Have shame.
You know the funny thing about it. You know the funny thing about this is when Newcastle and Brighton had the conversation about Dan Ashworth. The interesting thing was they had front conversations where they came to an agreement and Dan Ashworth started after a while. Manchester United didn't give Newcastle the courtesy. They were putting feeders everywhere since November last year. When this guy joins the club, his best friend is Dan Ashworth, and Dan Ashworth is going to be the director of football for Manchester United. And this guy is being paid by Newcastle United. He's paid a lot of money for Newcastle United. And all this speculation going on around, Dan Ashworth at no point is refuting it. He's going to the meetings, meeting up with scouts, talking about our 2-year plan for for the next season. And this guy knows all the ins and outs of what Newcastle are planning. All of a sudden, after months and months of speculation, this is February. Everybody knew since January that they were coming for Dan Ashworth. They didn't do anything till now. Now they want him to come, and they want him to come and start immediately. When the summer window is the next window. This guy knows who Newcastle is interested in signing. They know the kind of money they are looking at. The last thing he did for Newcastle before he left for gardening leave was had a big meeting with all the scouts to talk about the players they found. So all this knowledge, he knows the tactics. You know, even Diao doesn't talk about tactics and stuff. He just talks about general conversations. All of this stuff, he's now saying all of this stuff, and then what's his name? Radcliffe, is that Jim Radcliffe? Comes out and says it's ridiculous for Newcastle to want a payout for the director of football who has all the knowledge about what Newcastle wants to do. A rival, even if it's not a direct rival, a rival knows exactly what they want to do. Meanwhile, ignoring the fact that when they had a player out last season, what was the name of the player I wanted to get from Manchester United? The guy who joined West Ham on loan. Lingard. Guess what they quoted for him? 10 million for a loan fee. He was going out. He was out of contract in summer. They quoted 10 million. The price of a player for us to loan the guy for 6 months. When we could have, we could have bought him. They didn't allow us to get him. They said he must stay to the end of the contract.
People have been petty.
Huh?
It's
not a question of being petty. It's not being petty. If it was a situation of being petty, it would be then he will stay here for the rest of the time. But Newcastle knows that this guy has information. And for us, you have gone about it the wrong way. You did an interview instead of speaking to the hierarchy of Newcastle. And then you want the director of football who understands the whole structure of Newcastle, and you want to move him on. Nobody says you can't take Dan Ashworth. But if you're taking somebody who is supposed to be a long-term goal of Newcastle, who was bought in to build the foundation of Newcastle, and then you want to take him to a rival club to build your foundation, then the team that invested in Dan Ashworth has to be compensated. There's nothing that is
20 million. Really?
20 million, yes. He said, Sir Jim Radcliffe said, this guy is the biggest and the best director of football that we have in the world. He's one of the top. Are you trying to tell me that Dan Ashworth is not worth that?
20
so
million.
you tell me.
It won't be 20 million, but you got to pay. It's that.
Raj is moving mad, bro. You're moving like you're on that Amsterdam weed Ten Hag is smoking, bro. Big man 10. 20 million. Is he gonna play left back? Huh? No. Is it, bro? You man got him for 6 million from Brighton, and now you want to allow it, bro. Collect 10 million and move on. That's it.
I'll say. Listen to me. When he signed for Brighton, first of all, I'm not the person who did this contract. He signed a long-term deal with Newcastle where they had speculated amounts for if somebody will reach out to him on a short-term notice or a long-term notice. So he knows what he signed. He signed that deal.
Okay.
And Newcastle can demand what they feel is worth.
That's fine. All I'm saying is I'm not paying 20 million for somebody that's not playing left back for me. If you're not going to,
that's fine. Then he's going to stay in the garden.
McDonald's.
He's going to stay in the garden.
Okay, fine. And then you pay somebody who's supposed to be doing director of football work for you, doing your garden work. That's fine. Till 2026, to mow your lawn.
Yes. I don't think you understand.
Those lines at St. James Park on the field.
Director of football doesn't fall under FFP.
Exactly.
And so the oil money that you are pumping inside your car is paying for Newcastle. We'll get another person.
No.
This guy is going to stay in the garden.
Listen,
you can't come and bamboozle us. All right.
All I'm saying is this. Look,
we're not going to strong arm me to agree with you.
We know. No. You don't need to agree with me. We know how this is going to end. You are going to collect 12 million, and the chapter will be closed. But anyway,
it's all negotiation tactics. So it's all negotiation tactics. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I think we should.
It's not a big deal now.
Negotiation tactics
is going to be so nice.
Dan Ashworth is going to end up at Manchester United. Probably
obviously.
It's not a big deal. Ray says, man, just walking at this point. Chaotic but entertaining. Samuel says, later, guys. What people don't understand is better to be the hunter than being hunted. That's how City have always done it. Being the hunter always gives less pressure than being hunted. All this is a narrative talk, please. Stop that. So that's the reason why you do it, because you were being hunted.
We're being hunted.
Stop this kind of narrative analysis. What kind of narrative analysis is that? Where stop there?
Why moving like he's bushmates? Get out of here, bro.
Raji with shame. Raji no good for anybody. Guys, we have 6 people watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks, Samuel. Akwaba Ogakwame. He's not what that. Okay, Ogakwame, you came to rant, right?
No, I didn't come to rant. I didn't come to rant. I just came to speak to the deluded United fans who are out here talking absolute garbage. Anyway, shout out to all the people here, Steven, Ola, even though me and you went back and forth a little in the chat. Even Raji, bro. Raji, man, I'm sorry. I don't know, bro. Like your team, this man last season were moving like prime Juventus. Now they're moving like fish and chips Udinese, bro. That's what they're doing. These guys looking like an English zebra crossing. How do you roll over against Arsenal like that? I cannot believe it. Bro, last season you were playing God Save the Queen football, looking like prime Juventus with Del Piero. Now you're looking like Udinese, bro. Now you're looking like God Save the King. What the hell is going on, bro? Anyway.
What is the difference between God Save the Queen and God Save the King?
No.
Is it a downgrade? I'm trying to understand your point here. What's the difference? I need to understand.
All I'm saying is this.
We have 1 hour already. Okay. We have 1 hour.
You guys thought you arrived last season, but now you just Anyway, I'm just okay. Now
we were fighting for 3rd and 4th last season. You are fighting for 6th and 7th. I don't know what you're on. So if Newcastle has de-arrived,
bro,
what has Manchester United been?
I expected. I'm pissed off because
expect more from yourself.
I did not get to laugh at Arsenal this weekend, and it is your fault. That's all.
That's why you're angry.
Yes, I'm angry. I'm angry.
Expect more from yourself. You cannot.
Bro.
When you go to London and you don't get your ass kicked, then we can talk. If Manchester United goes to Arsenal,
why are you putting hope?
If Manchester United,
why are you putting hope in my team? Why are you
Are you a zebra crossing? Are you Udinese? What are you?
You're the zebra.
God save the Queen and God save the King.
This man, I look like Tom, bro. I look like Tom MC, bro.
Nah, nobody. When you go to Arsenal,
no. But I'm shocked there's no Chelsea. I'm shocked there's no Chelsea. There's no Chelsea fan on this podcast. Seriously, those guys. They played against a bunch of IGCSE candidates today, and they couldn't get the W. These guys played against a bunch of children. Baby Shark FC, Kindergarten FC, Baby Shark is what they were playing against today, and they couldn't do jack shit. Nah, them man need to hold it. Where's Dada? Where are the rest of the
Where's David? Where's David?
Now, where's David? Anyway, let me go to my club. When people when United fans specifically, right, yell at us who want us folks who want Ten Hag out, and they're saying, you know, you guys are overrating this whole style of play thing. The man is winning. That's all that matters. Listen, guys, we went what? Aya, was it 6-7 games undefeated? I don't remember.
5 in the Premier League.
Right, 5 games, 5-game winning streak. There's a reason why we kept complaining throughout those 5 games. Because listen, football, there is a way to play football. We all can agree here that there is a way to play football. It's called processes. It's called methods. When they don't want to hear style of play, well, maybe we can use different words. That way they can understand it better. The reason we use the words style of play is this. There has to be repeated patterns of attacking football, repeated patterns of defensive play that builds a habit. That's what we need, because when things go wrong, like they always do in Manchester United football games, at least 50 to 70% of the time, these players need something to fall back to. What are they repeating in training? One of my professors in school used to say, repetition is the road to understanding. What are the Manchester United players in training repeating in form of building attacking behavior? What is it? That's what we've been looking for. And never mind the fact that when we brought this guy in 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, we bought him for one specific reason: to have some brand of football, the brand of football that we thought was original. This man is a fraud. Hush Puppy FC, bro. That's what he is. That's what he is. So never mind the fact that he comes and says, I can't play that football. I'm sorry, what? I hire you to build me. I hire you to build me a ranch house, and you're telling me, nah, I cannot build it. I'm going to build your poultry shed. Are you mad? Are you okay? You're telling me we don't have the materials to build it. Well, at least draw up the architectural sketch. Show me what the structure will look like. This man hasn't done jack shit. Nothing. How do you play football in a way that your entire middle is open? Bro, every single game, whether we win or lose, we're open in the midfield. We're open like a stripper's panties, bro. That's exactly what's going on. OnlyFans FC. That's what this football club is. How? How is it possible? We have conceded 435 shots this season. Manchester United has conceded 435 shots this season. Sheffield United is the only team that has conceded more shots. What are the repeated patterns of play that these players are learning in training? That is what I need to ask Erik ten Hag, and that's what you man need to ask Erik ten Hag. And the reason is this:
Erik ten Hag's number is 0803.
No. Hold on, bro. I'm not done. Not only is it important for these guys to have something to fall back on as form of muscle memory, it is also important to have a style of play. Why? Because the kinds of players you have in your team, these guys do not have the cerebral superiority to play football with any kind of skill. So when you have a bunch of players who are not footballers, who merely play football, you need a style of play. If your team is littered all over the pitch with people who are naturally gifted footballers, then you can get away with not having a style of play. Why? Because these people, they have the cerebral superiority. They can create space out of nowhere. You don't have that. There's a difference between people who play football and those who are footballers. Manchester United merely has people who play football. And that is why a style of play is needed. So yeah, I'm out.
You know, all right, I'm going to say this before you go. Have you ever gone to a fight, right? You say you guys are like ginning each other up and you're about to go into a fight, and then you enter the ring and the guy starts punching himself, and you're like, when am I actually going to get a chance to actually do anything?
Bruv, I'm not fighting.
You're punching yourself. I don't understand how you can have anything to say to Manchester United fans when you guys don't even have the ability to put your chest up once in a while. You are telling us that Manchester United players don't have sense of football. They're not even footballers. What the hell are we supposed to say to you? Manchester United is not in a bad way. They're not playing great, but I think that it's just a few tweaks, and all of a sudden you guys are going to be dynamically okay. The way you talk about it,
I agree with you, right?
It's almost like as if Manchester United is going to be.
Because you don't watch us the way we do.
Hey, no. Do you know why I agree? I'm not saying you're a great football side. I'm not saying you're a great football side. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying United are playing good football. I'm just saying that there are mitigating factors. And also, you're asking that you're considering a lot of shots. Have you asked about the stability of your team? Who are the people protecting your defense? Are they fit all the time? Your defenders that are there, you wanted to sell Maguire for a reason. You wanted to sell Maguire for a reason, yeah? Eventually, Maguire made it back into the team. Why? Is it not because injuries? Yeah? Is it not because of the injuries? That's why he made it back into the team? You know, so all of those things contribute to stability. When you don't have stability, then you're going to consider a lot of shots. It's basic. It's basic.
When the defense is constantly...
When the defense... that? Because he's invested, like, Ten Hag has been responsible for part of the acquisition.
He's wasted money. Yeah. He has wasted some good money.
He played a kid that nobody knew. Like, who's Amari Forson?
Tell me who that guy is.
How is he
But United brought in Maino. You have a teenager in midfield now, Maino. Who brought him in? Is it not Ten Hag?
No.
Liverpool played 18 and 19-year-olds.
No, listen, let me land. I'm saying he bought the players that he's now having to exclude, right? So when he bought Casemiro for 60 million at 30 years old, everybody goes, well, hold on a minute. Is that the best investment for what United need?
But did he buy Casemiro? Did he buy Casemiro or did the club buy Casemiro?
Like, he asked for that permission.
The thing,
but the thing about it is the players he asked for, the people at the top of the list, they didn't get it. They went to the bottom of the list to get them. Are you trying to tell me that Casemiro was at the top of the list?
I'm not hearing that.
But even Casemiro has had a good impact. It's just injuries that are killing him. Casemiro is not the worst player. He had a good impact. I mean, he brought something to the table.
He did, but
I think that you guys are overstating this stuff, man.
It was obviously short term.
Anyway, I've said my own.
This is why I don't want this guy to come onto this thing. You are going to derail the pod.
Okay? I'm going to get out, okay?
Just come to the stadium and punch yourself all the time. I don't understand.
Let's take comments before I go. Rick says, man, just waffling. Chaotic. Okay, I think I went through this already. No, not that one.
I've gone through this.
Okay, this is the one. I think it's from here. Actually, Rajini pay Newcastle. Ogwakame remembers. Thank you. Expect the same beating in Manchester soon. Newcastle wanted to be a big club.
Newcastle is a big club.
Hey, that's a Chelsea.
That's a Chelsea fan, by the way. That's a Chelsea fan that just lost today.
Ogwakame banter aside, changing the manager doesn't solve everything, or does it? Talk to you guys. You guys talk to each other in the chat.
Yeah, it's just nonsense.
Ogwakame, he didn't get Frankie De Jong. That torpedoes his plans. It's fine. Okay, so
that's the point I was trying to make. Casemiro was not his number one choice.
That's a different point. See, I kept crying out through. It's a different point. I didn't want to jump into that. United take Unai Emery. No, that's Arsenal legend. Come on now, that's your man. He come back and coach Arsenal. Man with the bars. Only fans. Osh Poppy said, "Don't mind Ogwakame. He just came to the dropping bars. Carry on, daddy." What? Now, fan rebuilding is the painful and slow process.
Yeah, definitely true.
OMG, injury is part of the game, though. Henry wants to die there. Liverpool have injuries. Newcastle have injuries. Okay, let's go to the fun part of the pod, which I think Raji will enjoy the most. Non-football related. So I started this part because these kudos and donkeys, like sometimes it gets very boring. So we said let's start doing non-football content, just as an ending. I'll go to Raji for this one because I know you used to do your movie reviews thing. I know you're doing.
I still do my movie. I have a movie podcast, man. So if you guys ever want to check it, it's called my brain is not even working. Movie Mistrial. We go through the top IMDb 250 and we rate movies. And I recently saw the third Batman film, Batman: The Dark Knight Rises. It's one of the worst films that I've ever seen, man. If I could rewrite the end, that nuclear scene, that scene where at the end of, can we even talk about it? Because it has spoilers. Anyway,
Batman.
Dark Knight Rises. At the end of the scene, after after the plane had gone and it had exploded in a nuclear explosion, and they're in Italy and they're eating, I would have killed Batman at the end of that film, because that would have been a more impactful end to the film than the fact that he was in a plane and then there was a nuclear explosion and then all of a sudden the guy is alive. There's no way, I have my problems with Christopher Nolan as a director, but I think that movie would have been better served if Batman died. So I'll give you that.
Okay, that's a good one. Steven?
Not a big movie fella myself, trying to find time, but I watched the new Bob Marley, the One Love movie recently, so I won't go into it because it just came out. But I mean, as someone who's been big in reggae music, the fact that they focus so much not on his life, like that for me was like, okay, I'm there to hear about him, not the political situation in Jamaica. So it was.
Did he survive?
Well, obviously he didn't, because it's his life story, right? But it's just the way that the whole thing went. It was like, okay, you didn't give me enough information on the man himself. Like, but I know the entire political landscape of Jamaica during the time he was alive. So it was more that was the way that they set it up. I think people are going to go into that looking for like about his story, his life story, and they're not going to get that from the movie. So for me, I would tweak it just to learn a bit more about his life.
That's a good one. Very good one. Ola?
People don't understand. People don't understand nuance. They're coming for me again about Batman Rises.
That's not legit better than your coach. Okay, it's a United fan, by the way. Dark Knight Rises worst film. What are you talking about? Wait.
It's the worst film in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Now you qualified it. That's not what you said before, right? You said worst film. You said worst film. That's right.
The Batman trilogy that.
Yeah, you've qualified it. That's why he was responding to you saying that, because he said that cannot be the worst film. Yeah, well, I do agree that in that trilogy that was the worst film. But for me, the film I will rewrite is No Country for Old Men. The ending. I mean, that film was just. It was just a weird film. It was good. I mean, this guy got an Oscar for it. He got supporting actor for it. The bad guy in it anyway. But at the end, Tommy Lee Jones just goes on this monologue. He just keeps talking, and then the film ends. It just abrupt end. And I was in the cinema watching it with some other people, and everybody's just looking at each other. It's like, is that the end of the film? We're thinking maybe there's something coming after the post credits. But the film just ended. It was just talking, and then the film ended. What's happened? So yeah, I will rewrite the ending because I like that film, but the ending was just so jarring. I mean, deserved Oscar for, I think, won a couple of Oscars. It was a Coen Brothers film, I think, and No Country for Old Men. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but that ending was just no. I'll have to rewrite it. It has to be better tied up. It doesn't have to be a Hollywood ending, but you can't just end the film with somebody talking and just fade out. It's crazy.
Okay,
I'll give you.
Let's take on. Since you are non-football, did anyone see how Coco Gauff was gaslighted last week? I guess.
No, I didn't see that. No. I wonder what happened.
I want to watch the Bob Marley one. Comment. If it's not about his life story, I'm not watching.
I wouldn't.
Okay, says remind me about to watch a film with you guys. Okay, bro.
Don't worry, we don't want to watch a film with you too.
I got comments there. I don't want to go. I write the ending of Game of Thrones. Absolutely. Mine is Madam Web. That's my own.
Yeah.
Madam Web.
You went to see that?
I went to see that. I was
strong man.
Honestly, I was laughing when he said it in the group chat.
Madam Web was horrible. I was convinced. It wasn't my choice. I was convinced. Madam Web was horrible, the whole movie, but the ending, they did not tie the way she got blind and paralyzed, the way it ended. Sorry, spoiler alert. The way they didn't tie it very well. It's just all of a sudden they show that she's blind and she's paralyzed. Wait, how? Like, oh, it's because of the explosion. Like, that was a horrible movie. That one, I'm sure anybody that does movie reviews, I'm sure all of you guys already know. Horrible movie. Don't recommend.
There were many script rewrites in that film, and they reshot a lot of things. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, the movie is coherent.
Somebody, please, what is Stephen? Sorry. Stephen, exactly. What is Stephen right there? United have
an unnatural allegiance to losers. That's okay.
Wow.
Is that another Kwame quote?
Which United?
It's Cat Williams quote, but again, I don't understand. Like,
which United?
No, you're giving them no, I'm talking about Manchester United.
Oh, because that's Newcastle United too now. I don't know. We need to know which United are talking about.
No, it's not Newcastle United. It's fine. It's Manchester United.
I told you Newcastle are irrelevant to this conversation.
Whoa.
Yeah, no wonder you're on the podcast and trying to figure out how you beat us 4-1.
So we're to losers. Okay. This is a team that has won 7 league titles more than you, I guess.
Okay. Well, we could go back in time with Arsenal too, huh? You're coming up on 20 years now, huh?
Go back to how many leagues did you win? 2?
Coming up on 20 years.
The last comment says her serve was in, but the umpire said it wasn't, despite the numerous efforts to get the umpire to make the right decision. Nothing happened, but she used it as a foul to beat the opponent. Okay. Good.
Didn't they check it? They always check it. It's automatic. Isn't it automatic in tennis?
No, but I think what happened is like the serve was called out and it was actually in, and then they didn't want to reverse the decision. So basically what she was saying is that she should have gotten the point because the umpire called out. They checked it, it was in, but then they wanted her to replay the point. So she was arguing, so she was arguing with the judge to say, can you call the official down to kind of explain the rules, because I don't think you're interpreting the rules correctly.
Wow.
But they use Hawkeye, Stephen. Yeah. Well, did she challenge? Did she have a challenge? Because in tennis, you can challenge to see if the ball went out or not. Did she have a challenge to use?
But I don't even think it was a challenge. I think it was called out. It was shown to be in, and then they basically wanted her to replay the point. And she was like, "Why should I replay the point?"
Yeah, then she should have made a challenge, because in tennis, if you dispute that the ball is in or out, you can make a challenge, unless maybe she has run out of challenges, because you can run out of challenges. Because normally she doesn't have to argue with the officials. She can just signify and say, check that. And then they use Hawkeye to check it. So I'm wondering how that happened.
They checked it already, and it was proven that the umpire called, but basically what the judge said was, when the judge called out, it interfered with the opponent returning the serve. And she was like, well,
I understand now.
Like, so they wanted her to replay the point, and she was like, why?
Instead of giving her the points, I understand what you mean now. Yeah,
so it was a whole back and forth. But again, Coco being Coco, she wasn't having it.
Good. I'm happy for her.
That's the point. The umpire refused.
But anyway, I'm good with that.
Okay, I think we've come to the end of the show.
Before we leave, I want to say thank you very much to everybody. I mean, I know everybody was looking for an opportunity to get at me, but I do appreciate having the conversations with Stephen and Ola and everybody who on the Premier League channel. So
all your fans.
I'm not gonna then I wouldn't call them. I don't want any fans, but I do enjoy the conversations. So yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on, Stephen, Ola, Raji, and everybody in the comments. Thank you for joining us. Like, share, subscribe. We're out.
10